Hello, this is Mark Soden for Wonder Valley Experimental 14. I'm here with Lob. And Lob, you've already stated who you are, where you are, and what you do in the last episode. So, in this episode, I was hoping to go a little further with the discussion of where invoking the Daemon for Instagon came from. um, and how you started that practice and how you see it as affecting the music of Instagon.
Well, okay, because okay, so how I came about that is like Instagram. We started calling it like a daemon, because it's really more of a chaos, a magic servitor that gets invoked by multiple participants, whether they're aware of it or not. I happen to have created this servitor in a ritual with some magician friends in the early 90s. We keep the way that it keeps the way that it happens and how it gets invoked. It pretty much is similar the way it's always been. It's people come in very unknowing of what's about to happen. They kind of might have an idea if they've done it a couple of times before, but generally I prefer fresh meat that hasn't experienced it yet, so that it gets a really interesting, it takes its own twist that I wasn't prepared for because I like it better when it surprises me. But when it first started happening, it was, this infant servitor creature that would come into a room and just go, "Ah!" And it would be nuts and crazy. And then as it grew and explored reality and evolved, it got more control and more interesting types of sounds. I do a lot of jazz and improvisation now, and my noise sets are a lot more contained and more specific because it's being done by the thing that I'm manifesting and unleashing on the world through my channel to it is just it's evolved, and it got a lot more understanding of sound and what it's doing now, as opposed to it being a child as it was in the 90s.
Okay, well let's jump back to the 90s a little bit and
Ooh, the 90s.
let's uh, psychic TV. They were
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the Temple of Psychic Youth, I was really involved in the Temple of Psychic Youth. And Psychic TV was a really interesting, different thing until Genesis became a real asshole and attacked its fan base. I initially, Instagon was a concept that was involved with the Temple of Psychic Youth and was going to be part of that network in a way that an American counterpart to Psychic TV, which was a band from the UK. And then we weren't. It wasn't. I don't know. There was just at the same time that we kind of unleashed that, there was a lot of dynamics and unpleasantness that happened within that organization. And so my project just continued on and took on a life of its own. And that network sort of faded away and became this really more hidden group of people that are still there, but are not active in the way that they used to be.
hmm, I see. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I think
eh,
that Psychic TV has a really, people who are into Psychic TV, it has like two or three different eras. And people who are into Psychic TV currently are mostly people who are in the last era of Psychic TV, when Jen was a hero for transgenderism and was more involved in that organized effort than the guerrilla art fair and magic, the magical network that it was previous to that I was really involved in. I think that,
I see.
and I really, it just was it's got a lot of different efforts, a lot of different angles to it, that project.
Well, one of the things that kind of fascinates me about Instagon is that you have done it for such a long period of time, and you have a
Almost 30 years. It's creeping up on 30 years. Next year will be 30 years of Instagon, and it's never repeated itself on stage twice ever.
amazing. And how rare is it for somebody to have a project of that dimension to go look at its evolution and progress? And
Well, as
it's
far as I
kind of,
know, it's an anomaly unto itself. I don't know anything else like it. I approached the Guinness Book of World Records probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, about trying to include it, and they said they didn't have a category that it would fit in because it was it had so many different facets.
well, let's compare it to, I guess the obvious thing to compare it to of a long running band would be the Grateful Dead.
Sure,
How
but
long
that's
did
a
they?
band. That's different.
That's different, but how long did they run?
The Grateful Dead ran 50 years. The Rolling Stones are in their plus 50-year game now, and but most of the players that were involved in that are still there. Like Instagon is like, I'm the only focal point to it, and I haven't even been involved in all of them. And so there's been Instagons without me, and there's been it's and I hope that it continues on without me at some point. But it's probably going to do some real changing in the future as we ease ourselves out of the age of no stage. It's like it's not
Yes, the
it's
age. I
it's
like
not
that.
it's not the it's not really going to be possible to do it in the way that it used to be done. I don't think it's going to be
The
really.
age of no stage. I think you better copyright that or make
Yeah.
T-shirts or something.
I
Yeah.
have some poetry with that in it.
Oh, and yes. Well, so do you have plans for Instagon or just
Yeah, I
gonna?
kind of have some plans for Instagram. I kind of like, being out here in Miami really gives me time to think about it, but not really to play actions to do it. There's not a lot of musical outlets for me out here. There's no musicians. There's nobody to jam with, and so doing things is becoming going to be a lot more remotely and a lot more either more like I'm probably going to do a lot more home creations, things where I collaborate with people. Like, we did that thing a few years ago where you sent me some cool beats and I created some stuff around it. Probably
Mm-hmm.
going to do some stuff similar to that. I'm also going to probably be planning for live things to do more, not necessarily live, but maybe more live in studio, kind of treat it like an old Blue Note session, to where I book a studio somewhere and then I book a band to be in that studio and we go in and mess.
Okay, so yeah, document the event at the time. That makes sense.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can. I think we had a momentary alien abduction there.
Yeah, well, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. It happens.
Missing time occurred. Wow.
So what
So
were we talking about?
we were talking about your plans for Instagon.
Oh, so yeah, so I really think, yeah, I think I'm going to do some more studio approaches where it's kind of like, because all of the times that an Instagon's ever played before, it's all used. There's two aspects for me. I'm playing live and I'm doing and I'm performing, but I'm also really involved in the recording, and I'm recording and I'm documenting at the same time. And so it would be interesting for me to take it into a studio where someone else is handling the documenting, someone else
Hmm.
is doing, and I'm involving an engineer as another part of the the ensemble. Like there's a new aspect to the ensemble that I've not had before, and that would be an engineer, someone to do mixing and recording and have
Right.
ideas on how to record things and how to set things up that I would never think about, because I'm usually just like, all right, how big is the stage? What do I have to play with for the next 40 minutes? you know
Yeah. 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 How many can we fit on here?
how many can we fit on the stage
Yeah. Perfect. Well, you're
comfortably
coming to
with
Wonder
covid
Valley this year.
with covid separation?
Yes, of course. And
Yeah, I'm
any
going to bring a mixer set. I'm bringing a mixer set to Wonder Valley.
oh, awesome.
Um, going to be a mixer set. Should be fun. I haven't confirmed everybody that in it. I know that Mark Schneider from Medicine Cabinet's been confirmed so far. So I know, because I know he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So currently there's Mark Schneider, and I'm still playing with other people that I'm trying to find who wants to pull out of the woodwork, the woodwork of the high desert. Um,
Outstanding.
I,
Yeah.
I've heard recently that my friend Rick Agnew is moving to the high desert. I haven't actually confirmed that news, but I'm looking forward to it.
I can confirm that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
living in Joshua Tree, or has a
yeah.
house in Joshua Tree.
So we maybe we'll get him and Jane to come out as well. So who knows? Um, they might be.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That,
So yeah, that'll be fun. But it's late at night. I don't know if Rick will stay up that late at night. We'll see.
well, I think he can be lured.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna see what he says anyway. It'll be fun. Uh, but yeah, so I have plans for Wonder Valley in early April.
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagon will also be making an appearance in Huntington Beach for Easter Sunday at Vinyl Solution Records.
Well, that's your traditional
Yep.
Easter gig.
So there will be an Easter Sunday adventure this year. And then I have another couple of gigs in May. There's going to be I have an art show that's opening here in Miami, Arizona on the second Saturday in May. And Instagon's probably going to play at my opening. We have a gallery here. I'm going to be having a 30-year retrospective of my work that's going to happen in the gallery here, which will be pretty fun to post up. And there'll probably be some Instagon imagery in that 30-year retrospective, I'm sure. And then I'm playing at Owl Fest in Northern California in Memorial Day weekend. So those are kind of my shows coming up the next few months.
I'm
But I'm
not
really
familiar with Owl Fest.
Owl Fest is a 3-day, pretty jammy music festival that happens in the Northern California area. This will be Owl Fest 10, and I think it'll be my 4th appearance at Owl Fest. I'm excited about it.
Generally, what city is it close to? Or
It happens in Wilseyville, which is out in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of in the Sierra. It
wow.
used to happen up by Grass Valley, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's in another location. It happens
Well,
at a place called the Blue Mountain Event Center, which is a glorious event center. Beautiful big stage and lots of room for camping. It's really fun.
oh, that sounds pretty awesome.
It is. Yeah,
Well,
it'll
it
be
sounds like
Memorial Day.
easy.
You should come. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like easing into summer. You've got all kinds of good things happening.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time this afternoon. And
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I've been talking to people, and I think that's the common thread is that people are really looking
I got space
forward.
on the mixer set. You want to be in the mixer set?
Sure, I'll do it.
Cool. All right. Mark
I
is now
will.
confirmed for mixer set.
Yeah, I'll be there.
It'll be fun. Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
mixer set is coming. I'm excited. That'll be fun. All right. Well, thank you for inviting me to your event as always. I look forward to my return to Wonder Valley. It's been a number of years since I was at Wonder Valley, and actually in present at Wonder Valley. So I'm looking forward to seeing how different it looks and how exactly the same it looks there. And
there are some changes.
I bet it's been like 10 years, I think, since the last time I was there.
Yeah, yeah.
A long, long time. So thank you for the invite. Thank you for the interview. I look forward to seeing you soon. And hey, if you're watching right now, make sure you go to Wonder Valley,
Go to
either
Wonder Valley.
online or in person.
That's
There's
more
going to be
important
an online and an in person. You have both to choose from this year.
it's more important than hit like and subscribe.
All of that.
It's like go to the event.
Go to the event.
Thank you, Lob.
All right.